everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper. This is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. This is take 2. Why? Because when I saw what the first... Let's just show. I'm just going to show you because I can't understand. And we haven't tested yet, so we don't know. I don't know. Alright, so that's... I don't know, but it seems as if they've lost their mind. And I'm not quite sure how to handle it. I've got some theories that we're going to try. We're going to see what happens. But I got to make sure she's got gear on her. Of course. Why would she? Primary. I need more HP chests that are rolled. Because I don't even care anymore. I just survive. That's all I need from you. Is just survive. Sure. Defense. Perfect. Okay. Where were we? Yes. This is a bit ridiculous. Heal your champion's HP by 500,000 on stage 1. Now, maybe this includes like healing, but even if they haven't lost health, in which case it should be pretty easy. Your best in class is easily Thenasil. He is a monster healer. I've also brought, Arbiter can do heals. Islin, I just built up. He heals himself based on his defense. And then we have a nuker to do the damage. Reliquary Tender. She's going to give us revives, cleanse, everything. So this is the team we're going to go. And we're going to find out right away whether this is ridiculous or not. Because if I have to take damage, I'm not exactly sure what to do. So let's find out here. We obviously are at 15,300. So we don't because I believe that was just my my secondary heal. So let's find out. Heals him by 25% of his max HP. So that's going to be a big chunk. Okay. Easy clap. Just build Thenasil. I'll show you his stats at the end because I was concerned this was not going to work the way I wanted it to work. So it looks like we're going to be good. All right, there we go. It took a little bit longer than it should have. I probably should, now that I know. So for you guys out there that are watching this, haven't done it yet, bring 2 nukers that last wave, or bring something stripped, because you got that Krisk who's a pain in the butt. So it did take a while for just Ethos to take everyone out with no debuffs and no second nuker. So you want to bring something, either a debuffer, a cleanse, or sorry, a strip. I've got cleanse, but the heal itself, good to know that it is whether you need the heal or not. I thought that was going to be crazy. The big thing is around here, right? It's got an increased defense, but the big thing is heals all allies by 25% of this champion's max HP. So it's an AoE hitting at 20-some thousand per, right? So you're going to get 125,000 as long as your whole team's up every time he heals. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. It's probably the best, most consistent overall. At 17.8, it's not crazy HP, but it's enough, right? Anyway, by the way, go Leafs. Just read that if you can see that. And if you know hockey, you understand. Hey, come over here. Focus in. Focus in. It says just once before I die. That's all I'm asking for. Just once before I die. Anyway, cheers to the coffee. All right, let's see what the next one is. Stage 2, we've got 10 plus freeze debuffs. Well, we know who the best freezer. I happen to have 2 of them. We'll only use 1, but we do have Shermani as well. Okay, let's give this a go. 10 freeze debuffs. It's not going to be that straightforward, I don't believe. I hope I'm wrong. But I feel like we got 4. What does that do? Oh, okay, sure. I don't want to use the AoE. She's got it under A1 too. See if we can land it there. Nope. Okay. Good. What are we at? We're at 4. That's pretty good. All right, another pretty easy one, I would say, given the champions you have in the legendary. Hopefully, you have one of them. I just used my Galathyr for better control, so I can kind of weed it out here. When we take a look at epics, it's a little bit scary. But we do have Jingle Hunter, who does have a 90% freeze on one, or sorry, all enemies if this attack kills an enemy. So you can set up that kill if you need to, and Jingle Hunter will get 4 freezes. So that's one way to do it. Exemplar, actually, one of the few things she does well is a single enemy with a freeze and a block active skills. So you can kind of combine those two to get your way through. I've never used, but Neldor has an A1 freeze 40% chance, and it's each hit on 3 times at random. So I think there's probably your best in class for freeze. We also have Luthea, the old school, at a whopping 3 times at random with a 25% chance. That's if you're really desperate. But I think your best bet probably would be Jingle Hunter or Neldor there. If you can bring in ally attack to help Neldor get even further there with his A1, that would just be all the better. And of course, if you have any of the legendaries, there's lots of frees to choose from. Even your boy Alexander, simple here, has a freeze on an A1, 50% chance. And it's 75 against Orc and Ogre. And I wasn't paying attention to which of those were, but hey, you've got some options there. Overall, should be, if you're using epics, you probably just want to make sure you have some good survivability. But other than that, you should be fine. All right, let's go into stage 3, which is probably taunts. Oh, stuns. Well, it's got to be one of them, right? Well, I'm going to use Galathyr because Galathyr stuns are legendary, and it makes it, well, actually, they're maybe even mythical, one could say. What else do we have, though? Little more slim pickings, but we have Andressa, which is a single enemy stun, be 100%, so that's a decent one. We have one of my favorites, Skiramis. I think it's on his A1. Has an 80% chance of stealing turn meter, 20%, 30% chance of a stun. That's a bit rough, though he does have a counterattack. And, of course, your boy Tayrell has a stun if he can fully deplete the turn meter, which is really just a situational. Your best stunner is probably Basilius. I believe this is an AoE. Yes, so we're going to probably bring him in just to make this a lot easier. And of course, Galathyr has an AoE as well. I'm not quite sure why. Oh no, is that it? Really? Okay, we'll get her out of there right quick. I think our best bet will be to bring in Skiramis with it as well. Nearly enough accuracy or nearly enough crit rate. Don't care. He's here for the stuns, so this should be pretty easy. I suspect. Okay, let's just knock this out of the park right away. Got 5. Decrease their accuracy here. Can punch them in the mouth. And yeah, this one should be fairly easy. We'll see you at the end. Yeah, that one was pretty freaking easy. Galathyr is just it's another cheat code, that's fine. But so how you're going to want to level this out is with Skiramis, he puts a provoke plus a counterattack, make sure he's survivable, and he's going to get chances to hit that stun back. And with him being provoke, you can start trying to use your other champions. You got a full turn to stun other champions as well. If you're gonna have to use those single targets or any of the single targets that are epics, that sort of thing, that would be your mode. Is bring in someone that can make them survivable. Someone with a bolster set. Maybe build your Thenasil out in a bolster set with plenty of HP. He can heal. He can give you some initial shields. Skiramis provokes. Start stunning. You have a second maybe stunner doing the same thing. That's how you're going to get through this. So with that done, we are now, first of all, we can collect a little dust. Yes sir, I will take that. And then we go over to our Lizardmen. Now Lizardmen could be interesting. Let's find out what the first one is. Another heal champions. So we're going to need healers, which now we know this, now that we know this is not such a terrible game. All right, here we go. Take 3. At no point was I worried about not being able to complete this one. With Sulfuron, it's painfully obvious it's going to be easy. But I just want to be able to make this quicker. Um, it seems silly to go through that. All right, we'll see you on the other side. Right. Yeah, pretty simple with all legendaries. Yeah, this is about heals. So obviously, if you're looking for heals for epics, there are a lot of options out there. You can use any one of these champions. Specifically, these two are going to give you probably your best consistent heals. I think Delana is going to be passive heals. A lot of people might have what's his name? Pythion, because he was a relatively easy fusion to finish. So that's going to be another good one for you guys. Metal Shaper, I believe, has a pretty good heal too. Removes all debuffs and allies. Lowest HP, heals by 20% of this champion's max HP. So it's on a 4-turn cooldown, but you also can put shield. The shields aren't worth spit, but I mean, you can do what you got to do to get through the stage. If you have certain champions like frankly Sulfurin, because of how this activates, places a debuff and then instantly activates them, and then you get heals based on the HP burn activating. And then anytime they take a turn, potentially you're getting even more heals. So pretty simple with him. He is the cheat code, I would say, for this level. Here's stage 2. It is 10 stun debuffs. You've got a pretty good breadth of champions to choose from. Basilisk is going to give you a guaranteed stun on a 3-turn cooldown, or near guaranteed stun. It is an attack, so there is weak hits available, but it says places a stun, so I don't know. Anyway, Strixus has a relatively low, but it's an A1, so you can probably manipulate that around if you can control the team to land that. You've got Durang, which has a 2-hitter. Each one has a 100% chance of placing a stun. I'm not quite sure. Basically, it's a guaranteed, very similar. So those are the 3, and then Broodlord. I don't even know what his stun is. Oh, it's an AoE with a 50% chance of placing a stun. So not too bad on Broodlord. If you need it, you can bring in a couple of those epics. You can bring in Broodlord and just kind of brute force your way through it. Best in class is going to be Bethassa, legendary, but 100% stun on all champions. It is a 4-turn cooldown. Keep that in mind. You're going to have to play around a bit to make sure his cooldowns. This is actually my second attempt because I got a resist at the very end, and I knew I didn't have any way to not kill all the champions for 4 turns to bring it back, which is why I'm going to bring him in and an insurance policy. So let's start this and see how she goes. So how I like to do this, control the team. That way you don't have to worry about it. He's going to throw his stuns down. See, we got 1 resisted. That's fine. We'll hit the stun there. So we got our first 5, and then we can go ahead and kill this round. And I'll see you at the end, because this is just going to be a rinse repeat. I don't think it's anything you need to watch ad nauseum. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be the greatest comeback of all time. It's going to be so good. You're going to tell your kids about it. You're going to be like, holy, this was amazing. I don't know. We'll see you on the flip side. Hey, I should mention this, and it's something that I hadn't thought of. Basilisk is actually probably best in class over Bethassa, because if you put him in a stun set, his A1 is an AoE. So you can literally go from a guaranteed stun to just continual AoEs with a chance to place the stun on the set. You can build him up for an extra 5% stun. You don't have to worry about his damage. Usually you can bring in other chance for damage. But there's an argument to be made, because he's an epic, he might be best in class. So Basilisk is definitely the one you want to keep in mind and put an AoE on. We also didn't talk about Fushan. Just because he's an original, you might have him. He does have this all enemies 2 times. Stun debuff is really low. So I know some people are thinking, oh, Fushan will be good. He's actually not very good in the way that all the rest of these champions are just better. The other one is if you happen to have a Krisk in your back pocket, obviously he's an AoE A1 as well. All right, last stage. Place 20 poison debuffs. The team we're going to... this was the team we're going to use, but I'm actually going to Change it up ever so slightly just for some more survivability, because Elva is a pain in the ass to deal with on that third stage. So if I can taunt her, that's going to make things a lot easier for me. So let's jump into this. Hi, babe. You're probably home. We'll chat in a minute. So again, control, of course, resist, because he only has about 550 accuracy. Not nearly what you would need for this sort of level. Poisons, more poisons, and then some death is what we're looking for there. There we go. This is one of the more fun aspects of using Shigur, is he attacks anytime someone takes a poison debuff. So really fun there. Anyway, we'll be back at the end and we'll talk about what's next. Oh, okay, there we go. Again, control, survivability, put out the poisons, pretty easy done. We'll see what tomorrow's are. I don't even actually know. We get a little bit more. Hey, let's roll the dice. We'll show you that as a little bonus. My word, I nearly forgot. I apologize. We were going to go into the forge and do some more relic crafting now that we have some more of these. Not enough to do two. Let's do one, see if we can actually get something. And still standard. Really good that we got this Faction Wars. Really excited to get a chance to, a 50-50 chance to fail. What are we, 0 for 4 now? So really fun. Really enjoying that. Really salty and sarcastic. 3, 6, 4 hours. So we have the Undead Horde coming through. We've already fought them once. Interesting. I'm already coming around to Undead again, and yet we have yet to see Skinwalker. I didn't think that was a thing. I thought it was pretty run through. 6 days for Dark Elf Crypt, but we're already redoing Undead Horde. Interesting system you have there. And then we've got Dwarfs, which we've already done. So I gotta say, how is that possible? Is that just silly, or is it just me? Who cares? Who cares? Don't overthink it. How they do this is mental. All right. We'll see you tomorrow for that. So we'll get to see 4, 5, and 6 of 2 of the dungeons before we get to see 1, 2, and 3 of half the dungeons. That's really well thought out. Once again, I'm going to have to figure out more silver. I'm down to 5.91. I had 60 million at the start of this. So you can see this is a huge resource drain, which I'm sure the executives at Plarium and even the new Plarium company are just like, oh yeah, this is very nice. This is how we like it. I don't know why I did a German accent. They're clearly, take the resource and put it in me pocket. Something like that, probably. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please be kind and safe. We'll see you in the next video.